Okay, guys, I'm going to start. I've been waiting for people to join, but yes, I do have a long list for today, so I'm going to get started because otherwise it's going to take me a long time to do all these readings. Um, but yes, the first reading that I'm going to do today is going to be for BTS, Jungkook, and Taehyung's friendship. Someone has requested this. I had read for Taehyung and Jimin in one of my past live streams, so this person was interested. And then I'm going to start with the Chinese actors and actresses. And I'm going to say the names. Probably I'm going to butcher certain names because I'm not good at pronunciation, but I'm going to try. I hope I made myself understood. Um, I have I have I believe it's the actor Xia Zhi Guang. Then I have Huang Jun Jie, Xiao Zhan. Then I have Zhao Lusi, Wang Yibo, Yangyang, Zhao Jin, Wu Lei, Liu Haikuan, Zhang Ruo Nan, and Bai Jing Ting. These are the names of actresses and actors that I have for today. So it's going to be a long reading. I'm going to try to see if I can, because the names, I hope you can see them, guys. Yes, I'm going to start with BTS Jungkook and Taehyung relationship or friendship. Okay, Jungkook, Taehyung, and the French. Hmm. Hope you can see a bit the cards. Hope you can see them. Okay. Okay, from JK's part about Taeyeon, we have the four of wands, and we have the Hierophant. And from Taeyeon's part, we have the Nine of Wands and the Fool. And then for the relationship as an overall, we have the card of the Fool. In the keyword, it says New Hope. So it's very interesting. Both of them got wands, so they are very expressive, honest, straightforward about their friendship. Um, there's a lot of energy here, a lot of energy, a lot of like, I think that if these people have something to say to each other, which I don't think that they have something, to say, but if they would have something to say, they would just say it is like very straightforwardly. Um, but it's so interesting because, both of them have wands as the first card, and then they have major arcanas as the second card. And the major arcanas are so opposites of each other, so different. So I think that what makes them happy or what they expect from the other is the opposite of what the other one desires. I mean, I think that their mindsets are and their personal experiences are also very different. One of them, for example, in the case of JK, JK cannot wait to go back to maybe, routine, to go back to, you know, the traditional ways, maybe the kind of friendship that they had before. He's also like, oh, I'm so happy that we are all back, and that we are going to have a schedules, and everyone is going to be celebrating. So I'm so happy that basically like I'm happy that we are all back in the same building, in the same, and I don't know why I see this. For me is the company card, so I'm like, he's so happy to be back. He's so happy to be able to maybe hang out with the group, Taeyeon included, um, because for him this is like the base, this is what he knows, so he celebrates very much when the group is completed. There's something about him like, oh, I'm so happy that we're back, that we're going to be seeing each other more often, because we have to follow certain guidelines, we have to rehearse, we have to learn something new. So there's something about like this Hierophant also reminds me of them literally having to see each other because they have to, with the excuse of like, oh, we have to learn this, we have to get together because we have to rehearse all this. So there's something about him being thankful that there's going to be guidelines, that there's going to be a structure again in the relationship, and he's so happy because of this. There's something about JK being so happy to be back, with the company. Like he's so happy in there, and he wants to see more of Taeyeon. And in the case of Taeyeon, it's different because from Taeyeon's perspective, we have the Nine of Wands and we have the Fool. So for him is the opposite. For him is like, I don't want to go back in there. I don't want to. I want to be free. Just like the fool, literally, like the fool. The fool came out twice. So there's something about me being a bit reckless. Me being a bit wanting to be free, wanting to be a bit crazy, wanting to be not crazy crazy, but just being good at not having a strict schedule. I just want to go out and just be let loose. I want to be liberated. I want to try new experiences. I want to be wild. I want to be, I want to improvise. I just don't want to follow a script. I want to be free. I want to be me. This is a new me. This is a me moment. This is a me moment. If you see the people in the cards, it's all about them. It's all about what they need. In the case of Jungkook, there's other people in the cards. See, there's others. So for him, it's more about what the company wants, what the community wants from us. And for Taehyung, it's like I'm actually a bit overwhelmed by this. I need my alone time. I need my alone time. And just like from what I said, from when I read for him and Jimmy, maybe Taeyong's mindset has changed a lot because of the military or because of personal experiences that he had been going through all these years. He feels a bit like, when it comes to friendships, he feels a bit like suffocated. He feels like he doesn't have the room to be this. Every time he thinks about friendships, um, I don't know if he had been friends for a very long time with the same people, or if he had very toxic friends that just demanded a lot of him, and sort of he felt like friendships would cut off his individuality, and his need to be himself. Maybe having very needy friends, maybe very codependent friends. And he's like, I'm done with the drama. I just want to have friends, yes, to have fun, but I want to resignify what friendship is. I don't want to feel friendship like I'm bound to you and I cannot move if I don't do things with you. Like I need my freedom. I need my me time. I cannot be responsible for you. I need more independent friends. And in the case of Jungkook, I don't think that he feels like Jungkook is one of those people, but definitely he's setting boundaries. He probably is not that available, or he's probably trying to find excuses to just go somewhere else or get distracted, and do something different. It's very interesting, his energy. He's looking for a new path. He's a new person. He wants to get rid of this or of feeling so suffocated in relationships or feeling so um, oppressed in relationships, and I think that this is not personal to JK. I think that this is a different Taeyeon and a different way of him dealing with relationships or friendships from now on. He doesn't want to be, it's like, yeah, he can be your friend, he can be there for you, but at the same time he could disappear, because he wants to experience a long time. um And then, yeah, we have the card of the Fool for the relationship. So see major arcanas. These are very strong spiritual lessons, I would say, about, the state of this friendship. It's not, it's not specific, their energy. It's not that they have something in particular against each other. It's more like, it's life. Is life, and the Fool is the card number 0. The Fool is the card that actually has no, all the cards have numbers, above. All the cards are numbered. But the Fool, since it's like the beginning of the journey, it usually doesn't have a number, or it has the number 0. So it means starting over. So this is why this card is says new hope, because there's a new beginning in their connection. There's a new beginning in their connection. It's just that it's new. They will not be the same people. They will not have the same dynamic because they are new people. And also their views of what happiness is or accomplishments are very opposites. One wants the community, one wants, like, yeah, I want to be, with everyone and I want to see everyone. And the other one is like, I don't, I want to go out. I cannot stand in this room with all these people. I feel like I need to get out. I need to go out. I need to travel more. I need to go different places, try something new adventures. Keep being inside if he feels suffocated. So it's not that they feel a certain way for each other, like, oh, because I don't stand you, this is why I'm not close to you. No, they definitely are very honest people, and they are going through the same. I think that both of them are so similar in this sense. They are so similar because both of them got the same style of cards. So it means that in different kind of stages or expressions and energy, they are sort of going through the same. They're going through this same sort of new start. They are also, both of them are, reviewing what is important for them, or maybe, redefine what a true friendship means for them. um, for Jungkook, it's more like everyone, a community of friends, and not for JJ, because I don't think that he has that many friends, but for him it's like, it's not so much about having friends. For him it's like being friendly towards one another. It's like, I want to be friendly with my community. The friendship doesn't have to be that deep. He's also a loner. He's also like not someone that he needs a friend there 24/7. But there's something about him just, with the hair you found the four of wands. He's like, I want to build happy memories and experiences with the people around me. He's very much like, it matters for him. It's important, to celebrate, to have fun, to have everyone, not someone missing. He wants to have everyone around like a big family. That's what makes him happy. And in the case of Taehyung, is different, because Taehyung, it's a bit, overwhelmed. He's probably a bit like, I don't want to be in a group like this inside a building. I feel like I cannot breathe. I cannot be myself. I want to be free. I want to be liberated. I don't care if people think that I'm reckless. I'm going anyways. So yeah, it's a new him. But the relationship is starting over with new hope, is rebuilding itself, is building the foundations again, because they are not the same people. Okay, now I'm going to start with the Chinese actors and actresses. I want to start with Xia Zhi Guang, and if you don't understand my pronunciation, please look at the list in the comment section. Is Xiao Zhi Guang, the first one. Xia Zhi Guang. Xia Zhi Guang. Wow, he had really been going through a very happy era, happy times, a lot of celebration, a lot of celebration for this actor, Xia Zhi Guang. Yeah, okay. Okay, for him, we start with the temperance. We have the three of cups. We have the nine of cups in the middle. We have the nine of swords, and then we have the king of swords. And then from this other deck, we have the card of the two of swords, choice, choice. It's very interesting because I think that I don't know if he had finished a project or if he's about to finish a project that is very dear to his heart, and also he had learned so much, and there's a lot of celebration here, a lot of good. Um, I think that if it's work, is more than work. You know, in here with the Three of Cups, I think that he maybe made friends or there was a lot of good chemistry, a lot of even a friendship with these people that he worked with. There's a lot of like communication, understanding. They all flow towards the same objective. He was really happy. He was really happy with this last project that maybe he's still like with a nine of cups in the middle. I think that he's still like somehow maybe enjoying of I don't know if he was praised or if he had won certain recognitions or certain awards. Um, but I think that he is very satisfied with this project. He's very satisfied. Is so nice. He's feeling like wow, like this is like the recent past and the present are so positive for him. He feels so satisfied with himself. He's like, it finally paid off. Maybe there was a moment, where maybe if he had chosen this project, maybe people at first they were like, we don't know if this is going to do well, or we don't know how people are going to, take this. So we'll see. But there's something about him choosing the right role or the right project, and he feels like he's so happy. He's so happy. Guys, I'm back. It's also probably about him receiving a lot of love from people, or if he's gaining a lot of fans, but it feels very, very nice. It feels very nice to be him at this point. He feels so satisfied. He's like, wow, I done a great job. I done a great job. Um, Then more towards the near future, I think that if he had finished this project and thinking about the future is probably what, is somehow going to take him a bit away from this happy sentiment that he has now, because, yeah, we advance, we move on. And, in the near future, we have the Nine of Swords and the King of Swords. So there could be, if he finishes this project that was very dear to him, or he had a really, positive experience. There's a possibility that if he has to think about a new role, because I see him very anxious in the future. I think that this is something that probably, me reading for actors, I do get sometimes that for them it's not so much, while they are working on a project or, when they are maybe still promoting something that they finished, everything is happy, is perfect while they are in that sentiment. Now, the anguish or the anxiety comes after all of this effect or these promotions or this recognition. After all of this is over, I would say it runs out, and they have to prove themselves. There's something about like, yeah, you should be happy because you, I don't know, you had a hit, and you were very popular and you maybe won a lot of awards and you were very recognized, but at the same time, people are interested in what are you doing next. What is your next project? We are curious. From now on, what are you going to do? And I think that for artists, for actors in particular, this puts a lot of weight on their shoulders. Like, how do I know if I'm going to get chosen for the right role or for something that is going to boost my career? Or if probably if I choose something that I'm like very confident that it's going to do very well and probably it will not. Or there's going to be issues. So I think that, from this perspective, energetically, that I do see it. For an actor to think about new projects is exciting. And also, the more popular, the more possibilities there is that you can choose or that you can get good scripts. But the process of you choosing something is very nerve-wracking. It's very it gives you like a sleepless nights. They get very nervous. He gets very, analytical. He gets very like very cold. um there's something about him, to be this rigid, I don't know how to say it, but this very rigid person, because probably there's a lot of competition. So he has to, through his words, he has to, or maybe through communication, even through like who gets this document, who sends the answer first, who gets the first call. You had to get like the king of swords. You have to fight. You have to fight for the new role. You have to fight for the possibility to see the script first than others. So he's going to get a bit harsh. He's going to get a bit cold-hearted even, and all about, being also, the king is someone that is very intelligent, but is also someone that he knows his worth, and he's a very intelligent person. It's just that he like, from the happy times that he had in the last year probably to this, it feels like, a different, like his mindset or his mood changed drastically. And this is why, and even though he's so fearful inside, he has to act like he's cool. Like he doesn't have a single worry, that he's actually very confident, that he knows what he's talking about. He probably has to study a lot, he has to prepare himself a lot, but he's like, he probably wants to get more mature roles. So this is why he's getting on this King of Swords vibe. So yeah, it's going to give him a bit of anxiety, but I think that he's a very strong, his mindset is very strong. So I think that he's going to choose what is best for him. But yeah, again, see, we have the Two of Swords, that is a choice. So 2025 for him is a very complicated year, because probably he's going to have two options and he will not know what to choose. He will not know what to choose. So this is why maybe it's giving him anxiety, not knowing what to choose. So, it's going to be, a bit um a, a bit awkward for him. He doesn't like this sentiment of not knowing what to do next. But probably, you know, I think that the Two of Swords is also an invitation, like, take your time to decide. And also, it's a good thing that he has two options. That is not that he has only one and that's it. No, he has great two options. It's just that he has to review them. He has to be smart, like the King of Swords. He has to get very sharp, very intellectual. He has to study a lot. He has to read between the lines. He has to get very logical, very intellectual. He cannot think with his heart, because I see with all these cups from the beginning that he's a very emotional person. So probably, he follows his heart, he's very sweet, and he gets attached to the people that he works with. But in this case, I think that the best is to calm down, and just, study. Learn about these two possibilities that are going to be presented to you, and choose wisely. not to freak out. He is a king of swords. He's a very intelligent man. So I don't think that he's going to choose this year. Probably he's the beginning of 2025, probably. Not 2026, sorry. Probably the beginning of next year. He's going to finally, or is going to be revealed what he's going to choose to do next. Okay, I'm going to continue with Huang Jun Jie. Huang Jun Jie. Huang Jun Jie. Huang Jun Jie. Nice. A lot of anxiety, these actors. Their minds, they worry a lot. They probably don't sleep very well. They probably don't sleep very well. Okay. Okay, for this actor, for Huang Jun Jie, we start with the Nine of Cups. We have the Nine of Swords, the Sun in the middle, Queen of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, and Seven of Cups, Illusion. So yeah, this actor is the opposite. It's like the cards inverted their position, because he comes from also maybe he's advancing already to a new project, or the new project that he's in at the moment, he's been very popular, or he's like enjoying the outcome of this. Maybe he's working very like now, or if he had finished it, but he's like still getting the praises, or the good feedback. I think that this actor, Huang Jun Jie, is so happy. He's so optimistic. He's so optimistic. There was a moment where he actually was a bit, with the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Swords. This is why I was like, these actors have like insomnia. They don't sleep very well. They worry. They worry even in this case of this actor. I think that he worries even if he actually has like good results, like a good feedback, and he worries anyways. He's a very anxious person. Probably he's very hey Hope, I'm reading for Huang Junjie, the second person that you requested. um he seems to be like a very anxious person, that even if things go well for him, he probably tends to overthink a lot, or he has some sleep deprivation. He probably cannot sleep very well. But honestly, I think that this year is so bright for him. This year is so bright with the sun card in the middle. He's definitely, I have the sun card in the back. um there's something about him shining so much, or him just being very, I don't know if people are mesmerized by his beauty or his energy, but it seems like he's very eye-catching. Like he really is, it was made to be a protagonist. So if he hasn't gotten like I don't know about him, but if he hasn't gotten like many opportunities to be a protagonist, he will in the future, because he has all this charisma. He's a very authentic person, I must say. I like his energy. He's very bright. It's just that maybe in the last months, or probably last year, he was like, maybe he was gaining popularity, or he was getting good results, and he was satisfied, but there was a part of him that he was like, this is not good enough. I should be doing better. He's such a perfectionist. He's a bit like even when things all go well, there's a tiny voice inside of him that he can actually be a bit, sabotaging himself a bit, or maybe getting nervous. But the cards are so positive for him, are so positive. He is really very magnetic. He's and also he's a very positive person. This is why when I saw the Nine of Swords, I was a bit like, oh, this part of him, he probably has it very well hidden, because the sun in the middle is like, this is such a positive guy that is like very contradictory that he has the Nine of Swords, because if he is anxious, he probably doesn't show it, or he hides it very well. But yeah, we all have our duplicities. We are all dual. We are not a single, a single personality trait. We have, depth. We have other characteristics. And probably there's something about him not showing that he's worried, but actually he does worry a lot. But honestly, in his future, I also see like a very successful project for him, next to a very loving co-star, probably, with the Queen of Cups and the 10. I think that he's still next year, what is left of 2025, and next year 2026, he probably is going to get a lot of exposure, a lot of recognition, a lot of happy times, with this co-star. There's something about him and this co-star somehow building um, a very successful business. I think that, I don't know if it's, them, because I don't know, probably him and this person are going to be very popular, and then they're going to be seen everywhere. The Queen of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles is giving me that he's going to build a sort of business or an stability with this lady. So probably, if this is like a co-star, you're going to see them for a very long time together. You're going to see them hang out. You're going to see them promote together. You're going to see them, almost like you feeling like, wow, do you guys live together? Because you're always together. But they like each other, and also the Queen of Cups is so sweet. She's so sweet. I don't know who she is, but she's so sweet. She's a very sweet person. And also she's a queen, so she is not a child, she's a very mature person, but she's so generous with him. And I think that this connection, or this, alliance that he has with her, is going to be very beneficial for him in the near future. With the Ten of Pentacles, I see a lot of money. I see a lot of money, a lot of money, a lot of new deals. Um, I don't know why I get like an enterprise, a business together. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe them being the face of a very important brand or something like that. But them together, because I think that is him and her. This is why she appears in here, because she is important. But there's a good feelings. I think that probably they know each other from before, so there's something about them. Yeah, they've been working, but also there's like a very serious and stable connection between them. Um, in the Seven of Cups, it says illusion. See, I don't know what kind of dramas he does, but I think that there's something about him also. Maybe this is why I'm seeing this woman here. Maybe this is someone that people ship this man with this girl, with this woman, and then, being very popular and actually continuing to be very popular. Because with the Seven of Cups, the card of illusion, I think that he's a really, he's a great actor. He's an actor that he can really um, sell you a fantasy. He can really sell you an illusion, because he's really good at this. He's really good at this. He's so emotional, or he's so he has that energy. And there's something also, because I see this woman here, and I'm like, he's also really a really nice co-worker, because I think that she's also feels very comfortable around him. So if they have to promote together, or if they have to be seen together, it's not going to get awkward at all, because he's so he adapts himself, he adapts, and he's people trust him, people trust him, especially the ladies, the women trust him to work with him, you know. Maybe if they have like a romantic scene or something like this, he makes them feel safe. So, you know, I think that he's really good. With the Car of Illusion, I think that there could be also, you know, maybe, you know, him, there's something about him this year selling an illusion, you know. So it's not that you will really, like I said about me initially seeing that besides all these, you know, these glowing and this exposure and these winnings, he does worry a lot. He maybe is have some fears, but it's because with the Seven of Cups, you know, the card of illusion, for me it's like, you know, for him probably fame or recognition or the possibility to be number one is an illusion. It's a possibility that today you can be the best, but tomorrow you don't know. So this is why he's like, you know, I'm doing my best to build this illusion, to build, you know, to not get people to worry. I want to sell them um, a good time, a good experience. You know, I don't want them to get that fixated on me and about me and in my current situations. You know, um, I think that he worries so much for being also a positive influence for others. So this is why we have the card of illusion. He's like, I want you guys to stay in, you know, in the illusion of me. Don't look too deep, you know, don't look too deep. I'm just a performer, you know. Okay, I'm going to continue with the actor Xiao Zhan. Xiao Zhan. Xiao Zhan. A lot of Queen of Cups in these actors' readings. I wonder if they, you know, if they rely a lot. There's something about, you know, very loving women or very loving people just, you know, coming to the rescue for them. In this case, for this actor, for Xiao Shan, we have Eight of Swords, we have Eight of Pentacles, we have the Six of Cups in the middle, King of Cups, and we have the Four of Pentacles. And yeah, the Queen of Cups, that the keyword is says calm and harmony. Calm and harmony. So see the Queen of Cups, he is represented in here by the King of Cups. So, you know, a lot of cups. I'm actually very surprised, and this is something that I'm going to say now that I'm reading for Chinese, because I believe this is my first time dedicating a whole live stream for Chinese actors and actresses. So far, from what I'm picking up energetically, I have the feeling that Chinese actors are very different from Korean actors. You know, I have been reading for Korean actors for some of them, and I always get this very cold, strategic, very technical kind of view of their career or what they have to do. In the case of Chinese actors or actresses, I see a lot of emotionality, a lot of feelings. They really get into their feelings. They are very soft. They are very sensitive people. So I'm amazed because this is like, you know, my first experiences doing this, and now that I'm continuing to do more and more and more, I'm I'm getting all these feelings, I'm getting in my feelings just by reading them. So I'm very pleasantly surprised. It's a pleasure for me to see that actually these actors, they all are very emotional. They are like they are so sensitive. They are so sweet. And also there's something about them, having flaws, just like people, maybe them being like, I also worry about if I will do this right. They don't have like a huge ego. So far I haven't seen a huge ego. So I'm like, wow, this is so nice from them. I like it. Um, yeah, I think that in the case of Xiao Zhan, I don't know if he's like, I think that there's a lot of work. Definitely he works nonstop, or he has been working nonstop. And and there's something, he's a workaholic. Definitely. He's a workaholic. He also the Eight of Swords, he's someone that doesn't let go, or he feels like maybe he's working on something and the result is not what he wants. I think that he's a guy that he's always constantly working on improving himself, improving his skills. And he recently he felt like mentally like he was stuck. There's something about him working, like, reviewing things, rehearsing over and over and over and over, and being such a perfectionist because he wanted to get out of this mindset of like, I cannot do this, or this is not correct. He's definitely very rigid about, he's very serious about perfection. He's very serious about perfection. Um, and there's something about him feeling a bit stuck in the past, like I try. I wonder because I have the Six of Cups in the middle. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know him or his work. I think I read for him in the past in the channel, Xiao Zhan. Uh, but with the Six of Cups, there's a lot of nostalgia. There's a lot of nostalgic feelings. He wants to go back to. mm, could it be that he had a very famous work or a style of work and he wants to go back to that? Because he's like, I want to go back to those times. He's feeling nostalgic. He's like, I want to go back to those times. I want to go back to those times. This is why he's working so hard to, I don't know if it's the possibility to have a new role that is going to be very similar, is going to be very similar to what he did in the past. And it has to do with, maybe him being like the love interest of someone, because he is here in the future, King of Cups and Four of Pentacles. And there's something about him not accepting other roles. He wants this role. He wants this role. He's so fixated. He's going to be so fixated. Like, it has to be this role. I want to be this romantic hero, or this romantic I don't know, the protagonist is a lover, is a lover or is a romantic. Um, could it be that in the past maybe he tried to do? I don't see like roles that demand of him being like action genre, or just another kind of roles. But I think that there's something about him wanting to go back to be the sweet, charming, romantic kind of lead, male lead. So he's like, I want to go back to that. And he's so stubborn at this. And also, could it be that he is actually considered or praised for being a good romantic? Maybe he had an iconic role that it was him being this, the romantic lead in this very famous, role. But he's like, I want to keep doing this. Actually, my life feels better when my it seems like his future projects or what he wants to aim for the future, he's like, I want to land these kind of roles. I want to do romance again, romance, or um feelings, maybe him being, someone's love interest, but he wants to go back to these very sensitive roles. So I wonder if he actually, not so long ago, maybe he tried to do a role that was the opposite of feelings, that it was very pragmatic or it was very structured, and he was like, this is not for me. I prefer, maybe he prefers fantasy roles, or magical roles. um I think that his idea is like, I want to be everyone's fantasy boyfriend. Could it be? Could it be that he is everyone's like fantasy man, fantasy boy? Like he's the romantic lead, that you are like Romeo, that you are like that man. That is Xiao Zhan. And he doesn't want to give this throne, or this this recognition, or this, he doesn't want to give this to someone else. He's like, this is mine. People remember me because of this, so no one can take it. I don't want anyone to take this away from me. So I want I wonder if he's like holding on, fixated to a kind of character or a kind of role, um where he's like this sweet prince, or this romantic prince, something like this, romantic king, I would say, because he's like, I want to go back to romance. Like, I'm done, working on this. Maybe he had tried to do more serious roles, and they got on his nerves. He's like, I'm not good for those. I'm not good for those. But yeah, we have the Queen of Cups, that is calm and harmony. So see, this Queen of Cups could be, a female friend, or a former co-worker of his, another actress that could be like, you know, like uh, like a water sign herself, someone that is doing really well, and her being like trying to calm him down and being like, okay, I will help you, I will, with someone that I know, I will try to get you this role, or come to work with me. I have this, I'm going to start this project. Can you work? Do you want to work with me? But this Queen of Cups is important, but also because, the keyword here is says calm and harmony. So definitely there's something about him, he has to remain calm and harmonized. He has to remain calm. He cannot, get like this. The last card, when I see the Four of Pentacles, he's going to be in the future a bit fixated on a certain role, or on certain something that he wants to get, or maybe a recognition or something. And I think that this comes from a place of like, um, maybe he worried to lose some. I don't see him losing anything, but is he worried to lose a certain position that he has, or for someone to steal it from him, like a sort of title? Because I do see him holding on very tight to this. It's like, no one is taking this place from me. I am the guy. I am the guy. So then, this Queen of Cups comes to bring him harmony and calmness, like, calm down, it's going to be okay. You're going to get the part that you want, maybe advising him, like, just remain cool. Don't lose it. I don't see him worrying, but I do see him fixated. He wants to get in a specific role, and he's like, I don't want anything else but this. I want this, and I will not stop until I get it. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to continue with Xiao Lusi. Okay. Yeah. The, a mix of a lot of energies. Again, some cups, so, someone that is very emotional as well. We have Nine of Pentacles for Xia Lusi. We have the King of Wands. We have the Queen of Swords in the middle, the Sun, and we have the Eight of Cups. And we have the card of the Tower, and the keyword says ruin. So yeah, this year is all about, it's all about restructuring what is left after a chaotic event, after something happened. Definitely, this year or maybe the past year hasn't been easy for her energetically, and I think that it changed her perspective. Definitely, I do see her very strong and just making very bold and important decisions for her. I do see her very bright and intelligent and sharp and present mentally. So, she's going to make very important decisions for her career. I don't know if she's in hiatus or if she's back. Um, but I think that her priorities have changed. Um, I don't see her like quitting, but I do see that maybe she needs to move on from certain places and situations, or maybe certain dynamics, because with the Tower, for me, it's like, things will not be the same with Xia Lucy. Definitely, everything that happened had moved her, had shaken a part of her, and maybe it had also shaken the industry somehow. It had been a very intense moment. So I also see, here with the Nine of Pentacles and the King of Wands, um, it's so interesting because for me, the Nine of Pentacles is a card that talks, about independence and about you having a lot of talents and you just shining on your own and just doing great and just being amazing at everything, being an ace at everything. But then I see this King of Wands, sorry, here. And I'm like, is this a manager? Is this, a boss of her or someone that actually was encouraging her to, it's like, oh, keep going, keep going because, you are amazing, you do have the knowledge, you have the experience, you are like a money magnet, everyone loves you and you're so great at what you're doing, you're so successful, so the King of Wands is giving me like this very authoritarian kind of figure that I'm like, this person definitely took advantage of her, and maybe made her work or convince her of working extra hours or doing, sort of like under the facade of like, yeah, because, I want the best for you and I support you and you are amazing. We are all here for you because you are the one that matters. You are the star in here. You are the one that matters here. But at the same time, sort of like, um, pushing her to work more and more, because there's something about this person being like, oh, because you've always been amazing, you are always so independent, you're always so responsible, you are the one that can pull this off because you really know how to work, and you never complain, you're amazing, keep doing this because we need more people like you in this industry, no one does it like you. So somehow reinforcing the toxic labor, I would say, the toxic mentality of like, you keep working, yeah, you're amazing, just keep working, we need you, keep working. So I think that this man is the reason why maybe she had, this sort of, saturation, I would say, of her energies and maybe, her well-being in general, because this is a very pushy person. This is a very pushy person, very influential, someone that is also someone that is very, ambitious. So it's like, yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going. You got this, you got this, you got this. And actually not seeing that, yeah, you're seeing the star, but you're not seeing the human. You're not seeing that the human behind the star is running out of energy, is running out of resources, physical resources. So I think that this person was the reason. I don't know if someone had mentioned this, but I hope that this person got fired. And it's very interesting because actually, she is in the middle as the Queen of Swords, and she's sort of turning her back to him. So he's gone. He's part of her past, but he was the reason why she was so overworked, maybe because he was like installing these ideas in her, like sort of insisting that she kept going, under the false pretense, like, oh, you're a star, we need you because you're a star. No, the Queen of Swords in the middle, see, I do see her energy just being very, very present mentally, very bright, very intelligent. She's a very intelligent woman. She's very strategic. She definitely sees now in these times, in this period in her life. She's much more observant now. She's much more intelligent. I would say there's a lot of clarity also in her. And I think that this card I did get when I read for her, when all of this happened, that this is a girl that I think that if you are fans of hers, she's going to deliver the news herself, or she's going to tell you guys, okay, this is what I'm going to do next. Because I see her very involved, very communicative, about her next actions. I see her very, very well, connected mentally to what she wants to do. She's also, um, she's rebuilding her life, I would say. I think that she's maybe, um, I think that there's something about her finally seeing, things for what they are. I think that she wasn't seen exactly, like, when you continue on a road, um, you continue on a path, but you don't know where you're going. You just go because it's the costume, and it's like, okay, you're supposed to keep going because this is how we do things. And I think that for her, this event, this tower event, is sort of ruin. This is why we have the card of ruin. This sort of like fall, or upheaval. It was a wake up call for her. But I think that this is a woman that she is not in denial about what happened. It's just that, she also maybe, she's very hardworking, and she's also very harsh on herself. So this is why I think that she needs better advisors, some people that can calm her down and be like, you need to take care of yourself, like a mother figure, but because he had this overbearing authoritarian man, that he was pushing her, pushing her, pushing her, and he's like, you're not really seeing her. So now she's handling her business on her own. I do see her, also if she has to get like a lawyer, or if she has to get, certain guidance, or if she has to get certain information. She's like getting ready. This year is all about, um, getting all the facts, getting all the information, she really also wants to learn a lot about, maybe how she's feeling or what she went through. She maybe wants to document all of this, because I do see her that in the near future she could talk about this. I don't know if she had shown up already, because with the sun card, there's exposure. I do see her happy. I do see her shining. I do see her better. I do see her like getting back to a healthier, glow somehow. I do see her, just, enjoying herself a bit more. Also notice that for them, the sun card comes out very frequently. So it's very interesting as well how optimistic they are. Um, But also, I think that if she's working on a project or if she's going to present herself or something like this, then, with the Eight of Cups, I think that she could go on a break. With the Eight of Cups, it's like, okay, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to show myself that I'm okay, that I'm working, or that you can see me that I'm okay. And the Eight of Cups is then I'm going to take a bit of a break. And for her it's like to come back stronger. This is not to be like, oh, I'm walking away, from the industry. No, it's just that, maybe emotionally things are going to catch up on her, the emotions of everything that she went through, because she's a very tough girl. She's a very tough woman. It's really hard. She's very sensitive, but I don't know if it's because of all the years that she had been working, that somehow she has become this queen of swords, this very intellectual, this very, fast thinking, this fast thinker, this very logical woman, this very intelligent woman, just very, she studies a lot. I don't know why. Does she read a lot? Because I don't know why. With the Queen of Swords is giving me like she. It's not about thinking. It's like studying, studying. I always study. I always study. This is why her mind. She's okay. I don't see nothing wrong with her mind, but there's something about her just not letting go of knowledge. So sometimes, I think that everything that happens to her, instead of her, connecting with her sensitivity and being like, okay, this that happened to me, maybe is a sign that my body, that my feelings, that my emotional side, they need me to pay attention as well. They need me to acknowledge them. It seems like she's very much here. She's all about numbers, facts, data, maybe reading what people say online, and it's like she doesn't disconnect. And she has the urge to answer back. There's something about her. I don't know if she releases statements. I don't know if she communicates with the fans, but there's something about her being like, no, no, I'm going to be the one that is going to, tell people. Like she's like a community manager. I don't know. I don't know, but she's all in here. She doesn't feel. So this is why I think that, yeah, she is going to shine. Definitely with the Sankar, I do see a very positive, image and a positive energy in her. She's definitely, shining. She's going to continue shining. But also with the Eight of Cups, it's like you have to accept that you do need to slow down. What is going on with your feelings? What is she hiding behind all these, intelligence and all of this that she does? Because I think that she's also someone that you cannot tell her, like, I think that you need a break. No, no, she doesn't take that advice. No, she has to see it herself, or it has to come out from her. So she needs to slow down. She needs to slow down and connect with her heart, with her emotions, with her vulnerability. She probably was very scared, but she is like she, when you, I don't know if it's like a medical condition, like everyone is like, oh well, you have this condition, I don't know, a doctor, they are like, okay, you have this and this, and she's like, she started to look information right away. Okay, what is the treatment? What are we going to do next? Okay, what can I do to get better? Okay, tell me, send me the information, and I'm going to look online also what I know, different medicines, different treatments. So it's all from here. And definitely it's all because she wants to come back. She probably, I don't know if she had to finish something, but it feels like, no, I have to go back and shine again. I have to show myself because people want to see me. But it's like, calm down. With the tower, this was this that happened to her had shaken her whole stability. And this is not like, oh no, this was like a curse, or that, oh, this is because people don't want her to advance. No, it's not negative. It's not that it was meant to happen to her so she can find ruin. I don't know, she can find, fail in her career. No, it's like a wake up call. Pay attention. Something in your life is not well balanced. You are not treating your body correctly. You are not paying attention to yourself. So, and also maybe, for the community, the fans, whoever is watching, the people that works with her, it's shaken everyone's foundations. Like, what are you doing, guys? What are you doing to this girl? Encouraging her to work extra hours, to do her best, yes, in spite of her physical condition. Okay, I'm going to continue with Wang Yibo. Wang Yibo. Wang Yibo. Okay, Wang Yibo. Okay, for him, we have Seven of Wands, the Sun, Seven of Swords, the Hermit, and Three of Cups. And then we have from the other deck, we have the card of the Empress, and the keyword is abundance. What happened to this man? I mean, I don't see, cards that are like, oh, something tragic happened or is going to happen to him. But I think that this is a man that somehow is evading something, or he's evading the spotlight, or he's protecting himself from something, or he's evading certain fans, or because, yeah, popular he is, definitely. I have the Empress here. So I'm like, what is going on with this man? Because he's sort of like, yeah, like you can see me, I'm showing myself, but I'm also protecting myself. I'm a bit like, yeah, don't come too close. Yeah, thank you, but we're not friends. So I wonder what is going on, because from the recent past we have the Seven of Wands and we have the Sun. So again, see the Sun, like, people that usually they probably promote themselves a lot, or they are in the spotlight a lot, and he's like, happy and vibrant. His energy is very much up, like he's used to being probably, very wanted or very popular and being in the spotlight. He doesn't mind that. It's just that the Seven of Wands is like, yeah, I'm popular, and therefore I have to protect myself. I have to protect myself. Maybe people, online, posting something negative about him, or just, being critical of him. But I think that he comes from a large exposure, or I don't know if people really, if people get really, um, you know, eh, are they angry at him because of something? I don't know. I just think that he has these barriers. He's like, everything is going well, but every once in a while people attack me. Like I don't know. I don't know. I think that his energy feels like this. Like, yeah, they attack me. He's definitely very popular. With the Sun card and the Empress, I'm like, yeah, he has reasons to protect himself, he has reasons. But at the same time, I'm like, why are you so much into the defensive? Like, I think that he's at this moment and maybe in the future he's not going to be that open to the audience. There's something about him sort of escaping certain situations or just not being that available or that straightforward with the fans. In the middle, we have the Seven of Swords. So I'm like, why is he running away from being seen? What is going on with him? What is going on? He's sort of being selective. I don't think that he's like running away, but he's like, yeah, I will show you this, but not this. He's very much like on this, mm, you know, like 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 um I think that he's looking more towards reclusion. He in the future he's like looking more towards like yeah, like thank you for loving me, but bye, you know. And in the future we have the Hermit and the Three of Cups. So see, it's very interesting this combination because I think that he could be a bit MIA, maybe when it comes to work. I don't see him working, but I do see a lot of popularity. Could it be that he's very famous and he doesn't need to work? Could it be? Because I don't see like the evolution of a project. It's just that he's a star. Like he's so he has like, and also he has the Empress, the key to abundance. So it seems like he's okay economically. He doesn't need to. Um, at least not this year. Maybe next year it could be. But see, the Hermit and the Three of Cups is like, I'm sort of running away towards a more private time where I don't want to be seen. I don't want to, people taking pictures of me. But I'm also like, I'm not hiding from interacting with the people that I love. Actually, I'm going to go and spend time with my community or with my friends or with my family. So, it's like he's going to hide maybe from the spotlight, but not from his family and peers and friends and loved ones. Actually, I think that he's going to focus more on being with his family, his loved ones, his community, the people that loves him, the people that knows him intimately. And I think that it's very interesting because he's like, it's not like I'm hiding, like I'm going MIA. Probably he's going MIA when it comes to work, but when it comes to him being social, he's going to continue being social. It's just that he's going to do this with the people that he loves. And probably this is also going to be a bit controversial because why do I feel like people will find out like who will harass the people he hangs out with, even if it's family? Like, why are people following him in his free time or in his private meetings? Why are people following him even in there? Like, it seems like people are so they are so into who he hangs out with in his personal time. This is why he feels so like, I'm not telling you guys more. I'm not posting pictures or I'm not, posting where I'm going. But somehow I think that people will see it or they will find a way to find it out and they will appear or they will take pictures. I don't know, but there's, because people are like, oh, but you went on a break, but you have time to go out with your friends. Why aren't you working? It's like, oh, look what he's doing in his free time. He's drinking with friends. He's drinking with women. But why aren't you working? I don't know what is going on with this man, but it seems like, oh. like, and he really wants to get away from this, but it feels like they are very dependent on what he does. Definitely, they are so obsessed with, who is his friend or who is in the group of friends that he's with. Who are they? Let us know, who are they. Maybe they're looking for someone in the crowd. They're looking for someone in the group, like they want to confirm if the person is present. I don't know. But yeah, we have the Empress, but it says abundance. So, I think that he's going to be okay. Like, there's something, about me not seeing actually work. But I'm like, the man is okay. The man is protected. The man is abundant. He's abundant. I don't know where he's receiving his money from, or if he's actually like very successful, and maybe I don't know. I'm sorry, I apologize if I don't know. But I think that I don't know, when it comes to exposure and everything, he just wants to be left alone. He's evading certain situations. So, but he is with the Empress, guys. I think that he doesn't have to worry about neither his income, nor his popularity, nor his beauty. Probably with the Empress, it's like he's a guy that maybe he has the looks, he has the money, he has the influence. It's like he can have the luxury to be like, I'm going away on vacation today or this year. I'm going away on vacation. I'm taking a break. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, he actually, like, he's very successful. So, if he wanted to work, he will work. He will find work just like this. This is what I want to say. He's a very attractive person, or maybe he's very popular, or he has the charisma, or he has the contacts. He has everything. It's just that this year it feels like a more like private year. Like, he's feeling like, yeah, no, I don't know if I want to be seen doing this. Hey, Nataska. Okay, I'm going to continue with Yangyang. Mm. The Six of Cups twice. So what is going on with this man, with Yang Yang? What is going on with his projects? He's worried about his new projects. Okay, for Yang Yang, Ten of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, the Six of Cups in the middle, the Knight of Wands, the Nine of Swords. And then from the other deck, we have the Six of Cups again, memories. He actually was doing very well in the recent past. He was working, he was very stable. He was building a sort of empire, I would say. But why is he so fixated on going back to the past? Like, maybe, in the past, his projects were more successful, were more stable, or maybe he had like a company where he invested money in the company, he invested resources in the company, and maybe he thought that it was doing okay. He spent a lot of years, a lot of time of his life building an stability with someone. I don't know if it's like with a company, or if it's like with a project, or if it's like with a series. I don't know, but I think that this is where he comes from, and it's like, I had this stability and I was doing great and everything was amazing and everything was successful and abundant and prosperous. And now I'm seeing that there's something about an establishment changing. There's something about an establishment changing. Maybe the rules have changed. Maybe, the work environment has changed from his perspective. From his perspective, it feels like he's like, things were different back then. Always going back, always remembering, like, oh, back then I used to have this, or back then, I had these projects, or I had these contracts, or I had this stability. I knew I was doing great and I was working really hard because I knew that it was paying off. But now he's immersed in this sort of melancholy also. He's very melancholic. He's very melancholic, very melancholic. And I think that probably the whole year is going to be him feeling like this. I don't know if he's working on something, but I think that he's feeling very down energetically. He's stuck in his past victories, could it be? Because I don't think that he's that old. Like, but why do I feel like he looks at his past like, oh, remember when I used to have this? Oh, remember when I used to do this? And now he feels like things are no longer the same. And also the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Swords in the future, him trying to maybe going back to the old ways, but somehow, that's not possible. That's not possible. He's trying to go back to the old times, or maybe, maybe he had an agreement with someone, he had like a business with someone or an association, and it feels like he wants to go back to this. It's like he wants to go back to something, and he's insisting he's going to remain this the rest of 2025 trying to go back to that, but I don't see it. I don't see it. I actually think that it's going to add more anxiety to him, you know. But he's actively going back to the past. So I'm like, does he want to relive certain experiences? Like he wants to do certain projects that he did in the past, or revive them, or bring them back to life again, like. Because he's very insistent, and in the future I see him very actively chasing the past or his past projects. Because in the future, in the near future, I don't see him looking at the future. I don't see him being like, well, next there's going to be this that I'm going to be doing, or I'm going to be presenting this. No, it's more like I'm thinking about the past. I want to go back to the past. Take me to the past. Yeah, memories. He's stuck. He's stuck in the memories. He's stuck in the memories, and he probably, yeah, he's going to get insistent on something, but not advancing, not advancing. He can get a bit frustrated even, because probably, this that he's aiming at, people are already over this. I don't know. I don't see a person. This is why I'm like, this could be like an old project, like a company, like a deal, another work of his. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to continue with Xiao Xin Mai. Xiao Xin Mai. Xiao Xin Mai. Xiao Xin Mai. I believe she's a woman. Xiao Xin Mai. Xiao Xinmai. Xiao Xinmai. Very good. I like it. I like it for her. Okay. For Xiao Xinmai, we have Five of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, the High Priestess in the middle, Four of Wands, and we have the Queen of Wands. And we have the Ace of Pentacles, manifestation, manifestation, manifestation. A very intelligent woman, very intelligent, very intelligent. She was able, starting with the Five of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. I don't know where she comes from, but she was able to somehow, like, was she poor? Does she come from a poor family or a background, but maybe her family lost money or incomes, but, or maybe, lack of opportunities in work in general. But I think that she had survived this, she's someone that definitely she knows about lack of resources, you running out of luck, or you not having the possibility that maybe other people have, maybe not having that stable, that stability, or maybe she worked in different projects, they maybe didn't pay off, or it seemed like, she was able to escape this this lack of opportunities that maybe she had in the past, or maybe in the past she was experiencing, not having, this opportunity to break through, or this opportunity to shine, and I think that she's so intelligent also, because I think that she remembers where she comes from. There's something just very fresh, but also she is someone that is like, there's no use to you in the past. There's no use for me to look back at bad times or times where I didn't have the options that I have today. I think that we should concentrate on more positive things. And this is what she's doing. She's so intelligent, so strategic also. She's very strategic woman. And I do see her, actually becoming very popular, going places in the future. I do see her. I do see her because, we have the High Priestess in the middle. So, if now she's, somehow gaining popularity, or if she's doing very well by herself, or, if she's in a project that is giving her, what she's looking for, she's absorbing this experience from a very spiritual way, I would say. She's also learning so much by just being present, absorbing the experience, the knowledge from others, and not saying a single word. And I think that this is, and this is not about her not talking. I mean, in the sense of her not criticizing, nor judging, nor, making assumptions about peoples and situations. She's like observing everything and everyone and learning, taking knowledge from this that she is at the moment. And this is what in the future is going to launch her to bigger opportunities or to get more recognition, because I think that her attitude is so humble, but at the same time, there's something about her having the potential to be stronger, to maybe having stronger roles, or having more notorious roles, or, like just becoming more powerful. It's just that now, where she is at the moment, She is in a place where she feels very happy, she feels very satisfied, but she's also, maybe this is an environment where there's a lot of gossip, or there's, maybe she does see certain co-stars or certain, members of the cast or members of the staff, that they are very gossipy, or that they are very negative, or when they talk they complain a lot, and her, she's like observing everyone and just not saying, I think, or look what the other did, or look what the other said. No, she's remaining calm, in her center. It seems like a strategy at the same time, but she's actually been more likable because of this, because of her ability to not reveal that much, to keep center in what she has to do her part, to be professional, to keep on learning, to be humble and be like, okay, yeah, do you want to give me a tip about this? Do you want to teach me more? I'm listening, I'm taking notes, I'm paying attention to people. I'm learning from everyone. Everyone here is my teacher. So I'm learning. I sit and I learn. I observe. I don't critique. I don't react. I don't react from the ego, from the ego of like, oh yeah, I think that I deserve this, or I no, she's not like this at all. And I think that this is the key now, where she is at the moment. This is the key to her future success, that she's actually a very, congruent, intelligent person. And also that she's so calm. She looks so calm, so like zen, like so, like so intelligent. Also, she regulates herself, her emotions very much, very proper. um this is great for, very mysterious, a bit mysterious as well, but this is great for an actress, because in the future, she's like this blank page, that you don't see her ego, or you don't see the traits of her personality, or what she likes and what she doesn't like, or if she has an attitude or not. So this allows her in the future to play more challenging roles, or to get different roles for what she had, so people cannot, label her in the future and being like, oh, oh, she always does these roles, where she is like this, so we think that she is this character. No, she's such a mystery, and she has such a, depth in her character, that she can become in anything, and she's going to surprise you all in the future, because we have the Four of Wands and we have the Queen of Wands. So I wonder if they're going to give her an award at the end of the year. Could it be that she wins an award or something like this? But she's coming back. I think that her future project is going to be like, totally badass. So different from this that she's doing. I don't know, maybe now she's doing the character of someone that is a badass. But I think that, with this Queen of Wands, just being this confident, dominating, woman, is actually very good for her. She's actually like pulling off this like very, powerful, magnetic kind of woman, a bit like the bad girl, a bit like, oh, she wants to, I don't know, to steal someone's heart, or to win someone's heart, and the Ace of Pentacles, it says manifestation. So definitely with the card of manifestation, I think that it's very important um, that this year she's going to be able to reap what she saw. There's something about her finally seeing like the physical manifestation of her hard work. She has been working very hard, and she's finally able to say like, I made it. I'm successful. I'm recognized, and I think that this is where at the end you're going to see her being able to display her character, maybe in an award ceremony or something like this, and just enjoy of this recognition that she has been given, that actually she's holding, she's holding back from reacting. She's not asking for recognition now. She's like doing her work, just being proper, being patient, learning a lot. But I think that in the future, she's going to be very, very popular. She's going to be very, uh, just like there's something about a new role that is going to be amazing. Okay. I'm going to continue with Wu Lei. Wu Lei. Wu Lei. I'm going to continue with Wu Lei. Another one that is running away in the present. Oh. Okay. For Wu Lei, we start with the Magician. We have the Two of Swords. We have the Seven of Swords in the middle. We have the Ten of Cups. And we have the Hierophant. And then from the other deck, we have the card of the Fool, Fresh Hope. Very interesting. I think that he's running away from something. He's running away, but in the sense that he's looking for a fresh hope. He's looking for a brand new beginning. He's moving places. He's like changing companies. He's like, I see a company. Or, I don't see a contract, but I see a company. Could it be that he was under a sort of management or label, and now he's about to change? Because we have the Magician and we have the Two of Swords. So there's something about him in the past future, him feeling a bit doubtful about maybe his future decisions, or maybe he really wanted to explore different options, or he wanted to do different roles, or he wanted to do more. But there's something about, maybe his projects or his possibility to choose was somehow put to the test, or maybe people that manage him, they were like, oh, why don't you wait? Why don't you, just calm down a bit? Maybe, this is not the time, not the year for you to choose a project. It's like, we don't even know if this is good for you. So, and I think that he's a very intelligent person. He's a very, like the Magician, he's very adaptable. He's very intelligent. He loves to take risk. There's something about him being like, I want to take risk. I want to choose for myself, or I want to do what is best for me. It's all about the I. And I think that probably he was with, or he was managed by people, or he was surrounded by people that were putting him in a situation where they were like, oh, but you don't know if that's going to be good for you. Somehow sabotaging his ability to choose, or his ability to, be seduced by a new possibility. So I think that he's someone that he feels frustrated every time, someone gets in his decision making. I think that there's something about him not being, that not wanting to take this anymore. He's like, I can take decisions for myself. Like you guys are putting me in a place where I'm getting stuck or I'm losing opportunities because you guys have me here overthinking things. So I do see him running away from someone or some people. We have the Seven of Swords. So he's like, I better go somewhere else. And also I think that maybe it's not so much like business decisions. I think that it's also life decisions. He's someone that he's a very curious, a very, he probably is very young. He wants to try new adventures. He wants to move. He wants to do more. He has a lot of first, a lot of desire for discovery and learning new things and adapting. He's very playful. So he's like, you guys like are no fun. You guys keep me here in indecision, in, oh, what if this and this, but it's all words. It's all words. It's all like blah, blah, blah. But where are the actions? Where where is the growth in here? Where is the expansion? I don't see it. I just see that you guys keep me pendant, like, oh, well, next year we'll see if we can get you something better, or we'll see if maybe this is good for you. But, he feels like, I'm just not staying with you guys. You are not helping me advance. And also, he wants to be part of a community where he feels more loved and more like accepted. He definitely is looking for like a more loving, like a kind of family, like, oh, I want to belong to this company or to this place that they treat everyone like family, or maybe there's people in there that I know that I actually admire, or there's people in there that I care about, that I see them as my family. So I'm more leaning towards that part. And I do see him by the end of the year, deciding. He's looking for love also. He's looking to be accepted. He's looking to belong, to belonging to a place more of stability, a place where he's like, okay, well, I'm with these people, these people love me, these people want the best for me. But also it's very interesting because I do see him like a sort of wanderer. Could it be that he is a guy that from time to time he disappears, or he wants to travel, or he just does these very risky moves, even if he's an actor? Could it be that he is a bit like original in that sense? Because I'm also like, I'm wondering, like, has he been working lately? Because I do see a lot of like, yeah, mental conversations, ideas, um but and I see him very anxious also, like he cannot stay in the same place, very very and very nervous, like a very like someone with a kick, with a tick, even, him having a tick, like he cannot stay still or something like this. um but he's definitely trying to evade this. He wants to belong, and probably he also, there's something about him wanting to settle down. Could it be that I don't see romance or romantic, but seeing the Ten of Cups and the Hierophant, why do I feel like a sort of marriage? Well, maybe he could like have a contract and somehow have like a commitment with a new company, or maybe with a community that can provide for him this love that he's craving. He definitely feels lonely. I see all these cards and I'm like, whoever he was hanging out with in the past, they didn't guide him very well, because he feels like very like restless. He feels like he doesn't relax. Like, um, he wants to run, but he doesn't know where. So maybe he evades responsibilities a bit. And then he's like, oh well, but now I feel like I'm all alone. And yes, because I haven't seen you build something actually. I think that he has been evading something, or maybe it's about him becoming more mature. I don't know how old he is, but it feels like, maybe now is the time where he can actually, if he can, join a sort of a company, or maybe, I don't know, maybe like a religion, or just an institution that can somehow give him this sense of community, because he is more of a lone wolf, and I think that this has affected his ability to choose wisely, and we have the Fool, so it says New Hope. So it's about starting over. I think that this 2025 is a very important year for him, because he has to start over. It's like, you need to concentrate, think about what you don't want anymore, and also think about where you can go to that can give you a sort of a structure, because I do see him very lonely, and I'm like, he sort of does need a bit of stability and people that treat him like family and that they really care for him. Okay, I'm going to continue with Liu Haikuan. Liu Haikuan. Liu Haikuan. Liu Haikuan. Liu Haikuan. Okay, for I believe it's a he. Okay, for Liu Haikuan, we start with the Four of Wands. We have the Six of Swords. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Hangman, and we have the King of Pentacles. And then we have the Nine of Swords that it says despair. So a lot of kings in here, a lot of kings, a lot of like, is he married or something like that? Because I see a woman in here. I'm like it could be a co-star as well, but um, okay. For him, we start with the Four of Wands and the Six of Swords. So I think that he's very successful actually, because I see all this celebration, this movement, and also seeing the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Maybe this is like a co-star of his, and them having this stability. Maybe they have been associated with each other or with each other's image for a very long time. So I kind of see that this person is important. This is why it's in the middle. And also seeing that it's pentacles, it has to be with work, or it has to be with reputation or results, with material things, with business. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, I think that he actually is very successful. His life is always moving. He had very happy moments recently. It seems like he's going somewhere. But then I see the Queen of Pentacles here in the middle. So I'm wondering if he is in a sort of like project, where maybe, the main protagonist, or there's something about this woman, maybe, being like the center of the project. And with the Hangman and the King of Pentacles, there's something about him having to wait for her, or somehow there's something about their dynamic being put on hold. So I wonder what is going on in here. I wonder if there's like disagreement about money or about payments. because it doesn't feel emotional, honestly. It doesn't feel like, oh, because I had feelings, and you hurt my feelings. No, sorry, guys, I got disconnected. I got disconnected. So what is it about this man keeping me my energy like this? And yeah, we have the Nine of Swords that it says despair. So could it be like a conflict of interest or a conflict around money? I don't know, but I just got my internet disconnected, and I'm like, what is going on? What is going on with this? What is going on? But yeah, I think that maybe, I do see that he's very prosperous, and this person as well. So it's not that he's worried like, oh, I'm losing money, but somehow there's something about both of them being put to wait, both of them, about both of them being put to wait, both of them. So it could be a bit, him also the Nine of Swords with despair. It could get into his nerves a bit. He feeling a bit like, oh my God, like when is this going to end? Like, is there an interruption? Is there like some problems, some conflicts, that they have to wait? But I think that it's not just him. There's a woman involved as well. So I'm like, okay, guys, I'm back. I don't know what is going on. I have no idea. Um, I have no idea. But well, I don't know what is going on with this with this man. Is he having problems, like financial problems, or his projects are having financial issues? Because I'm getting disconnected. I'm getting disconnected constantly. Um, so yeah, but yeah, I will leave it like this. I'm sorry for the interruptions. Well, it's not the day to read for him. Okay, I'm going to continue with these two that I have, and then I'm going to go, guys. So if you did enjoy this, please don't forget to give a like to the live stream. Okay, I'm going to continue with Ruo Nan. Ruo Nan. Ruo Nan. Ruo Nan. Ruo Nan. Nice. Nice. I believe this is a woman because I do feel the energy soften. Yeah. Very popular as well. Very nice. Zhang Ruo Nan. Okay. Eight of Pentacles. The Empress. Not nine. Four of Wands in the middle. 10 of Pentacles and 7 of Cups. And then we have the card of Justice that says balance. Is she a Libra? Is she a Libra? Or she has like Libra placements? Because besides being beautiful, being Venusian, I think that, the cards are asking her to, to be fair, balance your things, your matters, because I believe that she's doing very well. She's doing very well. So somehow she can get a bit confused from time to time, because there's a lot of attention towards her. This is why I'm like, is she a Libra? Because it seems like she's very Venusian. You don't have to be a Libra to have all this attention. But I wonder if she's like very praised because of her beauty. She definitely works very hard on her appearance, but also on her talents. She's a very hardworking person, with the Eight of Pentacles, and then with the empress. You know, she's very abundant, but she's also a very hardworking person. You know, this is not someone that, oh, you know, I just became a sensation, or I became, you know, very relevant and important because I was just, you know, I had connections. No, she worked very hard. She worked very hard. She is working very hard towards this. You know, she's not someone that rests. You know, she doesn't rest. She she's someone that she aims for the best. You know, she aims for the best, and she takes a lot of care of her image, or not just her image but also her reputation, probably. You know, she's very, very clear about this. You know, it's like, and does she play royal roles or something like this? Because with the Empress, it's giving me beauty, it's giving me splendorous, it's giving me like this timeless beauty of hers. Uh, but in the middle, we have the Four of Wands. So, you know, the Four of Wands came out a lot today. So a lot of Chinese and actresses and actors have been celebrating. This year is a great year for some people, or it has been a great year for them. They do celebrate a lot. I wonder if they have like, because for me, it's not like, oh, it's the end of the year ceremonies. I think that they are celebrated a lot. I don't know if it's because they have fan signs, or they have these events where people go to, people attend to these things, and they are surrounded by a lot of like good times, you know, meeting or maybe other celebrities, or just being partying a lot. Do they party a lot? um because for me it feels like the atmosphere is so uplifting, it's so fun, and even if there's fans around them, it feels more alive than usually when I read for K-drama actors. It feels very like, you know, like no, I cannot say this, or I don't want to say this because no, or I don't go out, I don't, you know, if I'm working, I don't talk with people, or I just, you know, stay at my house, I don't like to go out. You know, in the case of them, they are very much in the spotlight. I don't know if it's this is about the Chinese you know, and you know, entertainment business been very much for the audience to be able to have access to them, and being able to see them and interact with them, and also have fun and play with them. So, but she is in this in the her present, she's like so victorious, she's like so celebrated, she's having a lot of fun. If she's working on something, she's having a lot of fun. There's something about work not being that harsh on her. She actually has a lot of fun. She's a very active person. She's very passionate also about her projects. I do feel the passion as I'm talking about her. I do feel like, you know, and also she's very prideful. She's like, yeah, we made this. We made this happen. You know, this is great. This is because we are great. You know, she loves herself very much, and I like her. I don't know a single thing about this woman. Um, Zhang Ruo Nan, but I'm feeling like I love her already. Like we have to be like her. Um, but yeah, in the near future we have the Ten of Pentacles, and we have the Seven of Cups. So see, I think that in the near future there's going to be more stability. Maybe she's going to, you know, have her own business, or she's going to, you know, be, um, you know, um, um, asked to participate in different, um, you know, um, enterprises. Why do I feel like it's buildings? But there's a lot of options for her. I think that 2025 is going to be very busy for her, very busy, and there's a lot of options to choose from. So I think that is, for her, it's important to stay grounded always, because the Seven of Cups at the end is giving me that she could feel a bit overwhelmed, you know, from time to time, because things are going so well for her, and you know, and options are available, that she can get a bit dizzy, you know, being like, wow, you know, this year I wasn't able to sit and reflect, you know, about like what do I want to do, because I've been invited to this event, I have to do this with this person, I have to go and work with this brand. So it feels like her life is all about, you know, exchanging things and working, but having a lot of fun. Honestly, I think that she doesn't have to like wear a mask or just act a certain way when she goes to these places. She's a very authentic person. It's just that maybe there's a lot of things happening at the same time for this year that it can feel like, wow, like everyone wants you, everyone is summoning you because they want to see you, or they want you to be part of their business or part of their companies, or it seems like a lot of things are happening for her. So with the card of justice that it says balance, this is like the card that is like, you know let's let's relax, you know let's relax, let's put in the balance, let's put things to each category. What is important? What matters? What do you have any kind of not issue, but do you have something to attend to? Do you have something that is important for you to look at? Do you have to sign papers that are important for your future? Pay attention to those things. Pay attention to maybe the legal part. Look very, very closely and wisely into the contracts, the papers that you sign. Do not get distracted. Do not get distracted, because I think that a lot of people, or there's a lot of like businesses that want her. So there's something about her feeling so like, oh wow, like, oh yeah, thank you, yes. And she's losing, she's a bit dizzy. When you're like, yeah, I don't know. Um, but with the justice, um, I think that there's a need for balance. There's a need for rationality. There's a need for also herself not being all over the place and not being available for everyone and every single situation, event, invitation. It's like, you can start to select a bit, what you're going to do next or what you're going to be participating on. It's just that these are very abundant moments. These are very business-like moments that maybe it's all about her image, and it's all about, her being seen, in different events, and people wanting to see her and people wanting to interact with her. So it feels like very prosperous. It feels like a lot. But at the same time, I would advise her, to, you know, balance. Don't lose the balance. Don't lose your sight from what is important. Be responsible. Also, like, have everything checked. Have every paper, every document, every situation that you go to, pay attention. Like, don't be in the clouds. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted by the flashing lights and just people, being all glamorous and stuff. Just pay attention, and don't be available for everyone, because I think that there's maybe certain businesses or certain opportunities that are not that good for her, but because she's invited, she's like, oh, I will go anyways. Okay, I'm going to read for the last one, and then I'm going to go. Okay, I'm going to be reading for the last one, that is Bai Jing Ting. 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 A lot of like the cards of illusion also came up a lot. So there's something about that. Maybe the some it's not some, it's just that maybe an aspect of, these actors and actresses life is based on, illusion, that there's something about them having to sustain illusion. There's nothing wrong with illusion because we are talking about actors in here, actors and actresses, so it's part of their craft. But at the same time, it's like, it's also a way of making money. So, sometimes it's not that deep. If they sustain an illusion for fans or for people that consume what they do, it's not that they do it, oh, because, I'm not being truthful. It's that it's part of, of their of what they have to do. And sometimes I think that when I say illusion, I think that there's something about them obviously not showing maybe the ugly side of how they live or what their circumstances. They have to sustain the illusion very much. They cannot show weaknesses or they cannot show imperfections. They have to sustain like a certain narrative. They have to build this atmosphere for people. um okay, for Bai Jing Ting, we have Seven of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Wands, we have the Hermit in the middle. We are in the year of the Hermit. Two of Wands, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. So, and then the Seven of Cups, that is the illusion. And another actor also got the card of illusion at the end. So, is this man working? Bai Jing Ting? Is this man active in this industry? Because I do see some movements, but I'm like in the middle, like with the Hermit, I'm like, whoa, he's very reserved, nevertheless. Because in the past we have the Seven of Pentacles and we have the Nine of Wands. So maybe in the past, he maybe had to finish a project, or there's something about him, being caught up in a project, or something that demanded a lot of his time, and he had to wait a lot. I don't know if he had to postpone, if there was a lot of interruptions, if he actually didn't see, he put a lot of himself or a lot of effort in a project, and actually this didn't, it didn't live up to his expectations. And I see him very frustrated in the past. Maybe there was a recent project of his where he felt like, people were like, no, it will take time, but it's going to do very well. Or maybe he invested money in something and there's something about this not paying off, and he was like, I waited, and it didn't live up to what it promised. um so in the middle I have him here as the Hermit. So I see him very like recluded, like just very silent, just maybe analyzing his next move, because he was so affected by this last one. He was uh so he had to put up with this waiting, with this speculation, like, okay, will this do well? People told me that I should wait because it will do well, but I didn't see the results that I was expecting. I put a lot of hope, expectation, and patience, and also a lot of work of myself. And actually, I feel like it was a totally waste of time. I got very angry at the end. So with the Hermit, there's something about him like, okay, I need to reflect on this. I need to go back to myself. I need to listen to myself a bit more, maybe go quiet on social media and just like reflect on my next move, because this was a disaster. This really drained my patience and my energy and probably his money. So, he's like, So in the near future, I do see, plans to work with this very influential lady, with this Queen of Pentacles. Maybe this is like an old co-star of his or a friend of his that is also an actress. And there's something about him coming back to work with her. So, and I think that she's so well established and she's so trustworthy and she's really very hardworking person, and probably everything she does, it turns into a hit. So I see that, he's going to, this sort of meditation that he's doing at the moment, this seek for knowledge, and being like, I need to center in me. I need to center in me, and just plan better. Just plan better. I need to do things better. I need to do them better. But yeah, with the Seven of Cups, illusion, again, he's also someone that is very prideful. So I wonder if with this card of illusion, if he didn't lose certain, like, he lose something? Did he lose an investment? Did he lose a bet with someone? Did something happen with him? Because I'm like, with illusion, he's like, I have to bring back the illusion. I have to sustain the illusion, and the illusion means about, maybe keeping a very healthy image, or maybe, him not hurting his image, and somehow being able to be this actor that delivers illusions that make people fantasize, or that make people dream of him, or that makes people, get emotional with his characters, with his work. So there's something that I think that if he lost something, or if he failed at something, he probably doesn't want to, doesn't want people to know. I don't see him hiding, but there's something about him being like, I will not talk about this. I will not refer to this. I will not address this, because, and he's a bit like he feels a bit ashamed, so there's something with the hermit, him being like, I better go MIA until I resolve what I'm going to do next, because he definitely needs to work. There's something about him being very hardworking. It's just that maybe he made a bad decision in the past, so he's like, no more, no more, like no more. Like it really, like it messed up my whole, my whole, routine. He's a very perfectionist person. He's someone that he loves to have control over his things, and he's like, no, I have to keep my image intact. This is why we have the card of illusion. He's really like, I have to remain neutral always, scandal free. I cannot have this kind of a stress on my person. Like, I cannot be this. So, I have to relax. I have to focus on what I'm going to be doing next. And I do see, this woman helping him out. So yeah. But yeah, very, very nice. Despite, I'm sorry guys for the interruptions. My internet got disconnected like 3 times. I don't know what happened, but yeah. Thank you so much to everyone that submitted the requests, the recommendations. Thank you so much. As always, the recommendations are left in under the comment section of the community post that I create ahead of time, so people have time to leave their own. I don't read for the same people over and over. So, once I read about the subject, I don't go at it again unless something happens that is necessary to read for certain things or aspects. But yeah, I wanted to do this. I wanted to do these readings for the Chinese actors and actresses that they had been working very hard. I also got myself into watching some, classic, I would say classic C dramas, because I was looking for, I was a bit stuck with the K dramas. I wasn't really feeling it. I did watch some amazing K-dramas, but they were very few. There's some that really disappointed me. So going into C-drama territory is a very nice experience. I have to still get accustomed to, get used to the idea that there's so many chapters, so many episodes, and that I have to, pay attention to the subtitles and everything. Um, but I'm loving the experience. So I was like, I want to honor these people. So yes, one thing that I don't know if you guys are up for this, or if you would really love this, if you have your favorite, co-stars and you would want me to read, what is their chemistry, or among them, how do they feel for each other, or those things. We could do a separate live streams for Chinese um, drama actors, like when it comes to dynamics among co-stars. So yeah, we could do this, because I know people left me like two names, and I added some in here, two names in the same sentence. And these were for individual general readings. This wasn't to read for how does B feels about C. No. So yeah, probably if you are up for this, and you can leave it in the comment section so I can actually see if my community is interested in this, if you find it like a topic that you would enjoy, that you would follow. I'm very much interested, into adding new series and ideas, and I always want to change and add new artists. So yeah, your recommendations also matter. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next Wednesday for the other live stream. Thank you so much, guys. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.